Welcome to the Soul Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me today is Ben.
Yo. What's good?
You know, a thing I realize I do is sometimes after we clap and we get it right, I give a thumbs up that you can't see, and you have no idea I ever do.
I would have never known. I could have gone my whole life.
Yeah, man.
That's
Thumbs
amazing.
up. They're good thumbs
Big
up in the
thumbs
thing
up.
we're talking about today.
Yeah, there is.
So, what with that Apex Legends coming out, we thought we'd talk about Titanfall 2, the hottest in video gaming.
Yeah. Coming back. Back in fashion. I heard a lot about it when it first came out, obviously. And what did it came out at the same time as something. Was it a Battlefield game? Or Call of
it launched
Duty?
like this. Call of Duty, Titanfall 2, and Battlefield all came out within the same week or something.
Yeah, so it was like destined to get fucked, pretty much. From a multiplayer perspective, anyway. But I heard only good things about it. Like, from the get-go, everyone was talking about just how solid the gameplay is and stuff. But then what was nice to me was apparently the single-player campaign was super awesome. And,
Yeah, but
recently happened to go on to the Origin store. Probably looking for the Anthem demo, I suppose, is when that occurred. And they were having their big fat, like, 85% off sale on stuff. So I pulled the trigger on Titanfall 2. I pulled the trigger on Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Battlefield 1. And this is the kicker. This is the big shock. I played them after I bought them.
what?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, I know,
Who
right?
even are you?
Fucking new year, new me. So, I did up that campaign, and it was fantastic. So, I decided to talk about Titanfall 2. And then we just got done doing some multiplayer, and it was great.
Yeah, that was a good. So, that was a crazy year for shooters because not only did Titanfall 2 come out the same week as Battlefield and Call of Duty, but that's also the year Overwatch came out and the year that Doom came out.
Oh my god.
It's
Man,
just-
I didn't know all
just a
that
good
shit
year.
coincided.
Yeah, it's just a good year for shooters that unfortunately meant less people bought Titanfall 2 than would have otherwise.
Yeah.
But I bought it twice, so makes up. Although I didn't pay full price either time.
Well,
I got it on console because it was like $35 on console, like pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, that game dropped in price real fast.
Yep.
And I think lately I have heard people talking about how there's been a bit of a resurgence because people played Apex Legends and then they wanted to go back a little bit. And especially, like, if you look into it at all, it's nothing but good stuff. Like, it's not like people just are like, oh, it's not worth playing Titanfall or Titanfall 2. I don't know about Titanfall, I guess, but Titanfall 2, everyone,
Yeah, Titanfall just has the problem of it didn't have a campaign.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd do
Which
it.
is a big problem when you play Titanfall 2 and you're like, this campaign is so fucking good.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit. Yeah, that was, one of the things to me was like, because I'm like directly comparing it to Doom at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, yeah, but this feels basically as good. Like, even the melee feels super good as Doom feels. But this has, like, so much more heart in its narrative.
Yeah.
And, like, the multiplayer is just nuts with the interplay between the pilot stuff and the mech stuff. All that wall running and double jumping, it's fucking good.
Yeah, man. The fact that they... And, again, like, with Apex Legends,
Yeah.
I want it, but at the same time, like, selfishly, everyone else is already better than me at that game. So I don't want people running on walls, like, headshotting me from 1,000 meters away. It'd make me feel worse about myself. So...
I mean, the thing with the wall running is, like, they would have had to design that map around that if they were like you can't add that in after the fact and have it be as good.
No,
Like the
no.
big part about what makes Titanfall 2 is all those maps they thought about it. So there are all those like cool little pathways for wall running,
Yeah.
which is like, I mean, particularly it's compared to some of the like whatever Call of Duty had a bit of wall running, and they just didn't really put that much work into designing the maps for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same. Those like long curved wall sections that like just go through the air are just so good when you can jump back and forth. I mean, it's still the campaign where it's like super designed has the best bits.
Obviously. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, it I mean, as far as I wanted, like, I don't know. I have the urge to talk about multiplayer because it's been like 30 seconds since we got out of game.
Uh-huh.
It felt so much better than I thought it would. Like, I played Call of Duty 4. We've been playing some Battlefield 1. Played some Apex and everything else. And I'm like, this still feels both like its own thing and just so much tighter than all of those other things. I guess especially the big comparison is like Call of Duty 4, right? Or Black Ops 4, I guess.
Yeah.
Just because it's that
there are multiple Call of Duty 4s.
Yeah, I thought about that after the first one. Like that tight space, but then you have to take into account all the fucking Titans. And I think it gets a little bit like stompy, I guess. When the whole enemy team has their Titans out and you don't, like, it feels a little bad, but I was very surprised at how good it feels being a pilot against a Titan. Like, I thought for sure it'd just be like, nah, get fucked, kinda. But, you have the options.
You have a lot of tools. You'll get murdered instantly.
Oh, yeah,
but
absolutely.
But it has, like, at the epitome of what makes Call of Duty good, it has the thing of it's fast. Like, you'll die fast.
But you respawn instantaneously, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I heard that.
You respawn instantaneously, and also, so you can take out a mech, but also you're super vulnerable to a mech is the big thing.
Like, even to an extent, it's not like if I'm shooting at a person, it takes it's even less. It feels like less health than Call of Duty. Even it's not quite like a hardcore mode, but like a couple shots and everything is just dead. That's why, like, in our first game, when I killed like 2 or 3 grunts and then I killed an actual person, I didn't discern them at first because it felt kind of the same, which I think is good. Like,
no, I think that's key. It also makes the game somehow more approachable because no matter how good someone is, just a couple bullets and they're dead.
Dude, you're paper, and it feels good. Like when you're always kind of squishy instead of like, well, against other pilots I'm a god, and then against a Titan you just die. So that balance is super nice
because it's all about exploiting the movement and getting around people and stuff.
And just like you had said, there's no reason that they had to make the melee as good as it is, but they did, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like, when I slid into that dude and punched him in the face, and I thought I was about to just get totally boned, but he died because I punched him in the face.
It's also like that reminder of, like, instant melee kill just feels good. Like, Halo got that shit right.
Yeah, man.
Like, it just feels good. It just feels good.
Yup.
Bop. You don't need, like, because you get the long interplay fights when you're in a Titan. You're a little more survivable. You get to, like, dodge around. You get to do your little boxing moves of your like dash thing or whatever. You put up your shield.
Yeah,
like the variety of the combat means they could really push the pilot stuff to just being the blah blah butterty blah blah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, and also you get a bit of that Battlefield thing of, like, your squad's rolling together. You've got Titans. You're
Yeah,
like,
for
all right,
sure.
we're holding down this area of the map, and we're just fending people off and racking up some points without it. But I think the big key is like when it does get stompy and one team like just pulls ahead, the matches are quick.
Yeah.
Like my big problem with playing Battlefield 1 like we have is like sometimes you're in a stomp and it just lasts forever. Like it
Yeah.
just like
If
you just
you
instantly the other team is taking control of the whole map, but it still just takes a long time for that game to end.
Yeah. Well, cuz you know, even if you join and immediately it turns into a stomp, you still got to wait for those 1,000 tickets or whatever.
Yeah. Whereas at least in Titanfall 2, if you're stomped, it's quick. It's there's the tickets go up pretty fast.
Yeah, and having the grunts there is a nice little, just boost that score and stuff.
Yeah, it's just you get to shoot something even if you're bad
Yeah.
or super new. You just like instantly there's a thing there you can shoot it and you feel helpful. You have something you can do, which I think is always super key cuz like you need those carrots so that you can keep playing and get better. As opposed to just saying, fuck this. I'm just dying over and over.
It was still, I don't know. It's funny because I didn't know that, and I was so happy because I got like 3 kills instantaneously. And it was like, oh my god, people are fucking terrible at this game. And you're like, I think those are grunts, probably.
AI.
Self-esteem just plummeting back down.
Oh.
It makes sense. It made a lot more sense, though. I was like, there's people who've been playing this game nonstop for how many years, and I just am taking them out? That doesn't seem right.
I don't know. We had some success, though, at the end
We
there.
did. 2 in a row.
Yeah.
So,
and also the epilogue part of multiplayer.
yeah.
That's such a good idea that fucking no one else does.
Yeah, having to escape and
Yeah, just like this, the match is over. The victor is decided, but still, you have a chance for a moral victory, or the team that wins has a chance to really shit on the
blow.
opponent.
Yeah, drive it
blow
home.
up the escape ship. It got a little more to do, and that like desperate, like suddenly your life matters because if you can survive till the end or you die and you don't get to respawn this time.
That's
That
that first win we had, and I just got to like unload my ult onto the dropship. That felt real good.
I like those maps, like the way they set them up.
The maps are incredibly well designed. It actually makes me like the setting is more reminiscent of almost like a Call of Duty or something. But how the maps feel and how they play, it feels more like Halo. Like if in a good way. Like it's not just some janky ass thing. It's, it feels like you have a shitload of options as far as where to go and what to do.
And there's like when I've played it, like there's this feel to it of like there's the main part of the map and there are all these corridors and ways to get through places, but also like there are these big open spaces on the other side of the map. And kind of when you've got a squad together, you can just kind of hold out on like a side while people get like funnel into you. That just feels good. And there's kind of always like a center of the map. They're just like similarities between some of the structure that is all good, and also just like all those windows you can jump out of.
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
your movement options are just so good. You're just flying across the map. The fact that you move faster when you wall run, there's like
it's so
running regular across the ground is just you never want to do it. There's always you could slide, you could jump, like,
and that was also a little bit surprising. Just that they kept 100% of the movement options from the campaign and just slapped it in multiplayer. And that's fucking astounding. Cause it feels so good to be able to double jump, wall run, double jump again, wall run again, and like, okay, we're across the map. Or alternatively, like I just landed on an enemy Titan or something. Like everything you do just feels so badass. It's great.
Yeah. You're only limited like you can take the grappling hook, or you can turn invisible, or I forget the other ones. But like there are just a
There's
there are
like the
just a
map
handful of,
hacks and stuff.
yeah. There's the map hack. There are a bunch of classes, but so there is some stuff that's customizable. I like the grappling hook just because I like the
Grappling
boost of
hook?
speed it gives you. And
Grappling
also,
hook is
you can
fun.
scorpion kill people if you hit them with it.
Yeah, dude.
Which is super, which is
Watching
hard, but it's so good.
watching people like grapple around corners is dope, and doing
Yeah,
it
like
is awesome.
the physics of it is just so
Yeah.
fun.
It's like
You,
low key Spider-Man sorta,
yeah,
just like whipping around.
I think one of them is also just you can just press a thing where you just run faster if you are just into
Okay. Like
running.
sprinting. Yeah. If you're a
Yeah.
boring piece of shit.
If you're just a true COD player at heart, you want to go faster.
If you think you're getting into Call of Duty and then suddenly Titans everywhere.
Well, if you want to play Call of Duty and fight mechs,
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
'Cause
That early game.
there is like like even if you're like never piloted your mech, like your Titan, you just always you land it and then you let it go on auto.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's like there's a super thrill of just fighting a mech and
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah, dude. It's so good. The auto mech was also a cool thing that I didn't really expect to see, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But it like for how they have everything else set up with like batteries and all of that, it
Yeah.
makes perfect sense and it works so well. Like I don't have to
Yeah.
worry, oh, well, my mech is just sitting there, it's going to get blown up. Great. Like at least it'll do something for the team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It'll try. It'll do its best.
Yeah, it'll do its best.
And like just the idea of like, oh, there's someone on the back of my mech, but I don't have the electricity gas to kill them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop out and just shoot them myself.
Dude, it's
Get
so
off my
good.
car, you asshole.
It must have been the guy had like the instantaneous eject or whatever, the instant eject when your mech blows up. That must like trigger just an upward force because that was the thing. Like he shot up and then I shot up and then I shot him in midair and he died. And it was great.
Yeah,
Like,
there's just there's a bunch of just cool physics interactions that can happen.
Yeah, just in the handful of games we played, I've had more like unique and fun experiences. like Battlefield 1 is great, but it's Battlefield. I have the same exact experiences there that I had in Bad Company 2, like 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's super enjoyable. The campaign is like it's wild how they did both of those things extremely well.
Yeah, I kind of can't believe how good that campaign is.
Like
Because it's like, again, that was my game of the year. That's legitimately one of my favorite games of all time because of that campaign. As good
Yeah.
as the multiplayer is, it's the campaign that makes it really that.
no, the campaign is freaking amazing. Like you start out with invisibility and then later you get like the time stop stuff. And it's just
Yeah, the time
it's so good.
the time stop stuff. You're like, what the game? What do you do? Wow.
I just
It's
love
like, oh, this game has stuff.
yeah, dude. And everything is just so intuitive. Like it's just
Yeah.
that high speed, like you're running, you just can punch through enemies and you pick up their shit. You like go back in time, you warp behind them, you assassinate them. Like that section is like probably one of my favorite sections of any game of all time. Like just how incredible it felt to just swap and there's almost no cooldown. Like sure, just jump back and forth between times, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. And it's so, like, tight, because it's like, we're going to do this mechanical thing for this section of the game, and then we're fucking done with it. What's next? Throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Next
Or
thing.
like
Next banger.
and I
Because
think
there's so many games that are like, our campaign, we have this thing, and it's this thing, and then the whole game is that.
Yeah.
And this is like, this level, we have this thing. We're going to do everything that we can with it immediately, then fucking go to the next thing. Forget about it. That's done.
Yeah. What I was kind of worried, it's one of those things where like worried, but also kind of hoping it happens is you have your invisibility and then you had time warp and shit. And I'm like, is this going to be like a thing? Like, are we going to keep all of these? But I think that stuff is it's a little bit too big to keep all of it. And it would end up feeling like a weird version of what Assassin's Creed sort of turned into, where I just remember playing, I forget which one it was, Revelations maybe, before it went totally off the rails. But like, you have this thing you can do, you have this and this and this and this and this, and it's like 1,000 things. I'm like, or I could just stab people. Like, that's a classic one. There's like traps you can set up and bombs you can throw, and I'm like, I'll just slash them. That's fine. It's cool. But like, having those little things that you need at areas felt pretty nice.
Yeah, it's because every map area for the campaign is designed around the tool set they're given. Like, it's, if they gave you everything, like, what would be it would have to be like, what's the map, what's the scenario where all that stuff is important.
Yeah.
Like, you could do it, but it would, again, you would have to put in a lot of work to make it all worthwhile for what you were doing
and
in
then
the map,
like,
for it to fit in this game.
Yeah, but then as soon as you get it anyway, by the time you get it all, after that point, the game is going to be kind of the same.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to have the same exact tool set, and people will find, like, you find the way to optimize, right? And then you just do that thing over and over. With this, it's like, well, I can't turn invisible here. I have to time travel. So I guess that's a thing.
It's like, the number of times this campaign is like surprised me in like what the awesome thing it did. Like, there's the time travel, but then there's that whole level where they're like building that fucking thing.
The house building level. Yeah, like
and they're like climbing out the levels that's like horizontal.
Dude, it's so good.
It's got like that. And then you've got the fucking escape sequence with the fucking emergency kit.
Yeah.
With the fucking auto pistol. So I don't know if you do this, but the pistol that just automatically targets people, that was just like a normal gun in Titanfall 1.
Great. That
people complained about it was too powerful. So that like whole sequence is like a tribute to how good that gun was.
So that gun in Titanfall did not have a campaign.
Yeah, no.
So people were just...
You just had that in multiplayer, yeah. It was just one of the unlockable guns. It was an auto-aiming pistol.
Jesus Christ. How? How was that a good plan?
It was fun, dude. That's all I can say.
Well, yeah, unless you're the bastard on the end of it. That's unreal.
You would just like target a group of grunts and then they would all die.
That's unbelievable. How did it work against like other people?
Well, the thing is, your mobility is so fast that like they could kill you before you got them in the sights.
Sure,
if they're good enough. It was still really. I mean, it's still like it takes a second to charge. Whatever. That's a lot of time. In a shooter like that. Mm-hmm. It's still good.
I mean, still good. Though, like that's great.
But, like, there are arguments for other guns if you were good enough. But yeah,
I also really like the dialogue options throughout. Just like shit pops up and you get to choose, or you can say nothing. Like, that was a very well done.
Yeah, like on top of how good design is, like the writing is actually good. Like the relationship between I forget the BT character's name, but yeah, the relationship between your pilot character and BT is just good. It's simple, but it just fucking works really well. And I love the dynamic of like you're not really a pilot, but he is just super mech. So like when they try to like give him a new pilot, he's like, no, we've been through the shit. This guy's good.
Yeah, he's like, our combat level has reached like 99% efficiency or like 98% efficiency or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, fine. And then, like,
the one thing I will.
Oh yeah, go
Yeah, no,
ahead.
keep going.
No. I insist.
I was gonna. My brain was just going all over the place, so we should actually stay on topic.
I was just gonna say that I love how much like throwing you is is part of.
Oh man, the
I'm
fastball
gonna-
special.
Yeah, dude. Just gonna get a perfect spiral here. Hang on.
Oh, and the thumbs up bit is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Like how he analyzes it and then like he has to figure it out.
Yeah, he thinks about it, and then mimics you. It's just good. So, and apparently that mission is like the first one they made with the thumbs up, and the attack on that base that where you kind of bond is like the first thing they built when they were building the campaign, because they were like thinking about, we need to introduce these characters, make them bond, but through gameplay and how that works. Because that's like, you can tell the way they built this game was like they just built these individual levels as like discrete objects that then kind of string together. See, and it has that feel, but they're also good that it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like each one is kind of like its own game, though they're like riffing on like the ways in which the base abilities work, and then introducing something new.
Yeah.
Or it's just a spectacle thing, like when you're on that fucking giant ship, and then you fight the flying mech at the end.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That was the one thing it never did that I was like, okay, but if you could have done that, if you were going to do one more thing, or if you were making a Titanfall 3, this is what I would want, is to play as a flying mech.
Yeah.
That can fly.
They
Because they introduced that idea, but they never let you do that.
I wonder if that's because
suddenly-
like they wanted to keep the multiplayer so consistent with it. Because
I don't know.
So far, the multiplayer is like dead on. And if they would have introduced that, like, do you put that in the multiplayer? Like, how does that work? Because, I mean, I guess you got grappling guns. Yeah, fuck it. Put in flying mechs. They got grappling guns. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Also, you could do it as like a temporary ability in multiplayer if you wanted to do it in multiplayer. As like a mech that its ability is flight for a set amount of time.
Kind of like a Pharah from Overwatch sort of deal. Like it launches up and can hover. Like a slower cooldown.
Something. But like I just wanted a level that was built around that.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I kind of thought as soon as like stuff started going south in the air there, I thought maybe we were getting it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one thing I hoped for. And it I mean, honestly, the games that did that kind of thing I would compare it to are the CyberConnect 2, like Azura's Wrath, or the Naruto games they make. Because those Naruto games are basically like arena fighters. But when they do their campaigns, they do not hold true to just the mechanics of their fighter. They will do all these weird sequences, like it's like a fixed camera shooter thing where you're just flying around targeting onto things and fire. Like it's just pure spectacle nonsense.
Weird.
That's over the top in a way I love. I just like that they go out of the limit. They go beyond the limits of like the main structure of the game as a multiplayer thing to build their campaign. I think that's worthwhile and makes a much better single player experience. Because if you just do when fighting games just do fight after fight after fight, it's not nearly as good. You do need something extra, and that's kind of can be a thing with shooter campaigns where if it's just the shooting over and over again, it's a little lackluster. Like that's actually my problem with that Doom game that came out that year. As much as I like it, as good as it feels, that whole campaign is like the same thing over and over again. The only change up is like They're a couple enemy type. They're new enemy types, but they're not that different. And you get some new guns, but they're not that different. You
Yeah.
get
I
um,
I think
so it gets a little tedious as good as it feels.
Mhm. I think the ratio of like getting to the Titan fights is perfect. Like you have your quick levels that like literally quick, you know, you can just blaze through them, wall run, shoot everything, and then at the end of it you get rewarded with a nice long Titan fight.
Yeah.
And especially like that big payoff at the final level basically where you're just destroying so many Titans. It's just like the battle, all out battle. It was so good.
Oh, I
And
love
that,
when you've got your squad and all the Titanfalls at the same time.
yeah,
That one
dude.
part of the game. It just feels so good. You're just like, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
everything
It's such
just
a fuck yeah
hits.
moment.
Yeah. No, it's
It,
absurd.
it lives up to the name. Titans Fall.
The
It's
Titans
good,
are
man.
falling. They're doing the thing.
I love the Titan lands.
And then it
Like that's
tears
the
your heart out in the end.
oh yeah, bud.
That like Iron Giant vibe.
I mean, that was obvious. That's like as obvious as like
no, like there's yeah.
it's this movie about a dog or whatever. Like that dog is dying.
Oh no.
There's no way this robot wasn't gonna die by the end of that fucking game. That was a guarantee.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it well executed. So
I
it's all powerful and works well.
I just like that they didn't do the Iron Giant cop out. You know, where it's like, or do the thing like, oh, we found his memory banks or something.
Yeah,
or,
they
like,
kind of
part
do.
of him.
There's
At
at
the
the
end?
last shot of the credits. Yeah,
I
his
didn't
like
watch through
your
that.
dude's helmet like lights up. I think there is definitely a stinger that's like, nah, he's fine. The robot AI
Okay.
is probably in his helmet.
Okay, well, I didn't see
You
that.
just, you just missed it.
I didn't see that. I skipped the credits.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was gonna
Yeah.
be post credits. And honestly, I'm fine just
It's
like ignoring.
again,
that
it's
for-
literally like the one shot of like leaving the door open to bring back BT. It's literally there.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's all
fine
it
if they
is.
do, but without it,
Well,
like
Well, it doesn't seem like they're going to because they said they're
Yeah.
not making Titanfall 3. Yeah.
which you know. Also,
I'm just
fine.
bummed because it's not like I fucking hate Apex. Apex Legends is well made and it's fine, but it's not fucking Titanfall.
No, not even close.
And it
after,
doesn't have a
like,
campaign. And really, what I even if they weren't gonna make Titanfall 2, I want that team making single player campaigns because they're really fucking good at it.
Yeah, honestly,
Like making a battle royale map is not that. It's not
not-
that interesting to me.
no, it's all like the same. At the end of the day,
Yeah, no, that genre's still been pretty derivative.
unless you're
in
Tetris
terms of,
99.
That's just Tetris.
Shh. Get your hearsay out of here. What was I gonna? Yeah, I'm far more upset retroactively about Apex now that I've played Titanfall 2 multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, I I did the campaign and then Apex came out. I'm like, yeah, cool, all right. And now I'm like, well, damn, this is a really good experience.
Yeah, I don't know. Like somehow, like even your base kit in Titanfall 2, it just feels like so much more than what you ever get in Apex, even if you find good guns. Like I just don't feel like.
That's
I
'cause
mean,
you
I'm
don't have,
probably
like,
missing
anything.
something. Yeah.
Oh, not really.
I mean,
It's because there's.
I haven't used a lot of those special abilities on those characters just because I'm bad. But
Yeah, but part of it might be the fact that you have to, like, I don't know. I guess that is just the loadout you're choosing, but like the fact that you're stuck mixing and matching. Like they have their ultimate thing, right? But like I want to always have a grappling gun. That would be nice.
yeah.
That sort of thing. But like maybe I'm sacrificing something for it. But
You know,
I
like a
mean,
video game.
yeah.
It's not how battle royale games work.
No. That's how
all
Titanfall 2
about-
multiplayer works.
It's true. Titanfall 2 multiplayer is
No,
good.
like legitimately now I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to play Apex, but also maybe I'll just play Titanfall 2 from now on. The fact that we got into
Yeah,
matches really fast also helped.
yeah. I'm actually surprised at how fucking easy it was to jump back into that game and how quickly we were just getting into games.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
it was
like,
just so snappy. Like even compared to a battle royale that's fucking super populated, that just takes a while because of
you're
the way
finding
those
so
games
many
are
players.
structured. It's not even. I mean, it's not even about. Some of it's not even about like the number of players even or whatever. Like finding that many, but it's about like the build up that comes with a battle royale.
Yeah.
Just like the amount of time spent trying to play the video game and
Yeah, that's
actually
true.
playing the video game is so you're just playing more when you're doing Titanfall 2.
Yeah, and that's
Like
the thing,
like
like,
you were in games like immediately
and that is the thing with like
and in the thick of it.
yeah, that especially being in the thick of
Yeah.
it is my biggest fucking problem with battle royales, and it's probably what kind of pisses me off the most because
Mm-hmm.
it has a lot to do with skill. But also, if I open my container and find a stock, an extended mag, and a helmet, and the dude next to me finds a shotgun, a choke, and a bunch of ammo, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
So it just, even when you try to get used to it and try to improve, you can't just, it's hard to keep throwing yourself. Titanfall 2, it took like we just got to keep like cycling through matches, and like we won our last two
Yeah.
matches because
Yeah.
you can just, it's so fucking fast that you can just throw yourself at it continuously until you get it.
Yeah. Like the process of bashing your head against it is pretty fast.
Yeah, and
And again, that
that's
benefit of like everyone just fucking dies immediately when you shoot them.
yeah,
Like that's
that's
also good. Because
but
one of
this
my problems in battle royales is always I get them like halfway dead and then I die or whatever.
yep
Whenever I
yep
find someone,
you get your shots in, and then there's just nothing.
yeah, just not quite good enough, and it's not. It's just frustrating. And also, I would say a problem if I could find the balance between like in going into matches and finding the right number of people to fight at the beginning every time rather than fucking no one or too many.
Yeah.
Because when I go in just to fight, there are just too many people everywhere, and I'm gonna die. Or I'm gonna
Mhm.
fly in somewhere where there's no one. I'm not gonna see anyone till the end of the game, but I'm gonna instantly die at the end because I'm bad, and the people who are left are good.
Yeah. The other the other thing, and this is like, it's more of a battle royale versus FPS in general.
Mm.
Like Titanfall, I'm going to slide somewhere. I'm going to run across a wall, and then I'm going to be literally face to face with someone.
Mm-hmm.
In Apex or Fortnite or PUBG or literally any battle royale, I'm going to be at best a medium distance from people. Like
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, it's super fucking far away or a medium distance. And then that other one time, like, you're super close and it's whoever sees the person first, really.
Yeah. So that's the thing I
Like,
will say. The thing I actually hate the most about Apex is the melee is bad.
dude, it
Like
pushes you
it
back.
it feels fucking terrible.
Yep.
And it's like super intentional, and I don't understand why they did it that way.
I don't
They were
know.
like, no, melee can't be overpowered. That would be fun.
It's not even the fact that it's like it's underpowered,
Yeah.
literally, but then it also, whenever you punch someone, you like reel back.
Yeah.
Why? You didn't need to do that. It's already bad enough.
It
It's already
feels
dead. Stop.
terrible.
Yeah.
And the thing and the part of it, battle royales I'm the most sick of is the drop now. Like that's the thing I liked actually about Blackout was that it's so fast
Hmm.
comparatively to some other ones. Like in Apex, the drop just feels like it's a long fucking time.
Yeah. It's
Though you
not.
do get to drop
It's
as a
not.
squad, which
Yeah, the
is
formation is pretty
the
good.
formation thing is just funny and cool. It at least guarantees that your squad will be together.
Hmm.
Again, I don't hate that game. It's just I do hate the melee though. The melee
Yeah.
I actually hate.
Ultimately, like, I don't know, for battle royale, I'm trying to think of like what specifically appeals to me. Maybe like I like the process of looting up. You know, it's kind of that random,
Yeah.
like maybe you get good shit this time. It's the same thing that drives me with Isaac, really. I like
Yeah.
gambling is the
Uh-huh.
thing of it.
I
Um,
think PUBG is probably still my favorite of the ones I've played because it hits right in terms of like kind of that Arma feel of like of the
see,
slowness of it, the
and
way
that's what I,
you get the way you gear up, the way the speed at which combat is engaged feels more appropriate for that type of genre. There's something about like the fast ones like Call of Duty's Blackout and Apex that's like it just doesn't feel correct for how that it doesn't actually hit what I like about that genre, which is kind of hanging out, traveling, and then shit happens, which makes it
yeah.
like a good game to play with people.
And see, that's kind of what I was getting at is like, at the end of the day, honestly, I kind of wish we could just go back to Arma 3. Like, you don't have to worry about fucking dropping. You just spawn in. You don't have to worry about finding another match because you just respawn. Like, that's kind of my big thing. I want to be able to just keep going. Like, okay, I died. It doesn't really affect me in any way except I lose my shit. But
Yeah.
just that ability to, try again right away. I like that very much. Also because
And it's
Arma
not
is
really
actually
about
good.
winning. Is another thing I like about it. It's just like
Yeah.
about doing stuff.
Yeah, you're
You
just
kind of
doing
set
shit.
your own goals.
Yeah. Like, maybe we're gonna have a fucking goat kart race. That was a good time. Like the fact that you don't need to rely on other people actually playing the game to have fun
Uh
sometimes.
huh.
Or at least not playing your game.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just about getting back at people who killed you,
Yeah, dude, the revenge.
motherfuckers.
The revenge is so good. That team
It's like
rolling out.
that was like the appeal of like open world PvP in WoW or whatever of like back when there were actually servers
Yeah.
of like this person would kill you. And you're like, I'm gonna fucking kill them. I'm gonna fucking find that person and
Get you,
murder
bitch.
them.
Yeah. I think
Or you could roll up with your friends and murder people and just be an asshole.
yeah. Dude, yeah, the amount of times that we had a tank in Arma and we were gods. Whew.
Yeah, there is definitely always something fun about. There's just something fun about being feeling overpowered,
Yeah.
feeling strong,
Which
which
is
I
why
just
mechs
never
are so
do.
fucking great.
Yes, exactly. You just jump in a mech and you're like, I'm safe. Like even if I die, I don't die necessarily. Is a feeling I love in shooters, which is why Diva was always my favorite in Overwatch. Because
Yeah.
I just like that feeling of like, even if you kill me, I don't die yet.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Double kill me.
That's actually the fact that one of the default options you get is the auto eject. That's so good. That's so it's nice. Like I could see myself using it anyway, but from a new player perspective, it's perfect. Like
Yeah.
it feels so much better than, well, I got my big mech and now I'm dead.
Like I got in this tank in Battlefield,
Yeah, dude. It's
and
so
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like that safety net when you don't know what you're doing. And also like, yeah, you can get rid of it. And you can get trade-offs for doing other stuff, but, that's a good decision. Like give people
But
that
if
option.
But if you auto eject, you can fly up in the air and then do a double jump, land on the other mech, take their battery.
Yeah, bud. That's the best. Or you could just shoot them from the sky. That's
Yeah.
also good.
Yep.
Like if it was a close fight.
Dude, yeah. Just launch on 'em. Death from above.
Yeah. I mean, also just with the mechs, the doomed state where your
Yeah.
hit points go to the low, and then you have like this extra small amount of hit points that slowly ticks down when you can eject. Like that's just good. It just feels good. You've got this buffer. You've got this room wiggle room.
Yeah. And it's actually with getting like batteries or even apparently like so one of the first things I did which I mentioned to you as it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I jump on the mech, I take its battery. I'm like, oh, okay. When what happens if I jump on it again? And then I shove a grenade in the cockpit. Like, that's fucking amazing. That's just great. You don't have to press anything; it just does it.
Yeah.
That shit is just so great because it makes me think of like Halo. I guess maybe not Halo 3. I forget, but like Halo Reach certainly. Like hijacking a Banshee or something, like just beating someone out of their vehicle. It's that same sort of feel. Like, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah. And you're just a normal dude. You're just a person.
Yeah, you're just
taking down this fucking giant robot. That's
Yeah.
like a perk, basically.
And sometimes, you shove a grenade in their cockpit, and other times you jump up, they turn around, they see you, and they melee you against the wall, and you die because you're a bug.
Yeah. And I just think those mechs are so much better than like perks in Call of Duty because there's so much more they're so much more interactive.
They're so much more interactive, and there's still like, I never once felt like, oh, okay, this person got a mech, they're just gonna fuck us for the rest of the game. Like, in Call of Duty, you get those people who, as soon as they get a perk, it's over. Like, they are going to keep getting perks, and that's gonna keep rolling.
Yeah.
In this game, I think it takes more than one person to carry generally.
Yeah. You basically like you have to get a squad of Titans.
Yeah.
Like if you get a squad together, they can
Then
like
it's fucking
both
scary.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can like hold this if they're all they all have to get in the same part of the map. Like there's teamwork and like that's another thing of like even though it's just a 6 versus 6, you really feel like team power when you're working together in a way you never do in Call of Duty, but that you do feel in like a battlefield. But it's like Titanfall makes up for the scale in a bunch of different ways, like with the grunts, the AI units, and the way, and like that you can have your Titan on autopilot while you're running around shooting people too. There's just like there's still so many things on the map.
That's like, now that you mention it, it's weird and surprising in a good way that like it's only 6 versus 6, but it never ever felt empty. Like I was always doing something. I could find the action immediately and just hop in. Like sometimes even with Battlefield, it's 64 versus 64, and you're like, where the fuck is everybody? Like I've been walking around for 10 minutes and then just get sniped anyway.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I guess they were at objective butter.
Of course, man. Always go for butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fucking... It's so good. And I'm so... I don't know. I kind of never expected Titanfall 3 to happen because this game didn't sell well. Like, the idea that they were actually going to make it was surprising to me. Yeah. And I was hopeful, but honestly, the reason I'm not more negative about it is because I kind of didn't expect it to happen ever. Anyway.
Sure.
Because as much as people fucking love this game, just not enough people bought it.
Mm-hmm. And there might be, like, if they keep having sales like they did where it's $5 or something, or now especially with, like, Origin Access, that player base, at the very least, might at least, like, maintain itself. You have a couple people...
Yeah, that's the other thing. Titanfall 2, still good. It's still fucking great. It still looks good. It still plays great. It still fucking works. Even though it has a smaller like player base, it's got like 2,000 people on PC. It's, every time I check it, basically, it's still fine.
Like, that's all you need.
Yeah, you just join the queue. That's everything. People don't play all the modes. Like one of the big modes that people just don't play, I think, was there's a like Last Titan Standing where you all spawn in Titans and then it's kind of just like no respawns for that round.
How many is that? The full 12 still?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then so you're like rolling around with your squad, and then as soon as like the last Titan is killed, you lose. So your Titan can go down, but you're still running around doing stuff even though technically you've been eliminated.
That's cool.
And that was a fun mode. But
See,
when you
this
have a
like
smaller player base, it's super hard to support other game modes.
yeah.
Sure.
See, this makes me want to get like a big group of people together, like Halo 3 days, and just do shit. Like fuck it, just play custom games or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, bud. Yeah, bud. Oh, that game is just so fun.
It is,
And I
it's
had no
a
one to. I
super
kind of had no one to play it with when it was due. I
yeah.
played that game all by myself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The time I put into it, and it's one of those things where it's like so when I'm like focused in on it, I was like exhausted. Like I would stop playing because I was tired,
Nice.
just because it's so quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
I don't
just
know. That's that. It feels kind of like an episode, just because like
yeah,
we said it all. Keep it tight. Keep it tight, just like the gameplay.
just like the gameplay.
It's it's real good. If it goes on sale and you don't have that game, it goes on sale for like $5 USD. It's really worth it. Maybe even less. The only thing what it comes packed. There's a bundle and it comes packaged with something. I forget what it is.
I think it's Battlefield. Whatever.
I don't think
Like the Battlefield that came out at the same time as it. I think
is it that or was it Star Wars Battlefront or
maybe
something?
it's Star Wars. I don't remember.
I
what the
forget.
original
I
one
know
was.
that I looked at it and I didn't pay the extra cash. Oh, it's more expensive because you get like the whatever upgrade of Titanfall 2 and it does nothing for you really. Like you get cosmetics and I'm like, it's like an extra
Yeah.
$10 or whatever. No
Because
thanks.
that's like the only DLC they did for that game was extra
Which
cosmetic
is
stuff.
fucking great. Like looking at everything and I'm like, oh, it's just normal level progression. Okay.
Yeah, I think there was like a Red Bull skin you could get for buying Red Bull or something.
Great.
I don't remember. There's some
That's-
food related promotion
Yeah.
with that game.
Yeah, they have like banners and stuff like Call of Duty does, and one of them is Spicy Boy. So,
Yeah.
you know, Game of the Year
And
2019.
their foil versions of the banners.
Yeah,
Fucking
dude.
magic
The
cards.
foil version, it's so fucking funny. The
I
problem
also
was
just
that,
like I like the way they handle progression where things are set for certain levels, but they also just give you a currency that you can spend to jumpstart if there's some specific thing you're looking for.
yeah, that felt really good.
As much as like that kind of Call of Duty progression on online shooters tends to frustrate me. It's just like I just want the stuff, but like the carrot is good and
I
whatever.
mean, it could be worse. They could do that, but then also do like a shitload of real world currency stuff like Battlefield.
Yeah.
Buy
And,
the
like, make
battle kits.
and do loot boxes and
Yep.
make it
Yup.
hard to get stuff. That's like the real problem with the real money transaction stuff is if they slow down the rate at which you get stuff because of it, so
Yeah.
that it stops feeling good. Because they're interested in making it feel bad on purpose so that you spend money. That's what
Yeah.
that's what gets me about the real money thing. Like if they want to let people buy that stuff, that's fine. It's then the way they design it on the other side that to drive people to it that fucks it up.
Yeah.
Makes it bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Titanfall 2. It's one of the best fucking single player campaigns in a shooter ever.
And apparently,
Ever.
fucking great multiplayer.
And the multiplayer's fucking great.
Like it is
What a good game.
solid game. You know,
I would
that game might be a 10 out of 10. Actually, I say that a lot, like 10 out of 10, but like I think it might actually be just because like there's nothing wrong with it really.
yeah. It's my favorite shooter ever.
That's totally fair.
It's in my
Yeah.
I was building a video game pantheon list at some point. And that's definitely in there.
Nice.
Actually, it was kind of like two lists. It's hard because I wanted to build like a top 10 for multiplayer and a top 10 for single player. And then there's some games that do both well. Titanfall 2. Kind of fucks it up. Kind of fucks up the system, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a podcast.
Yeah. We did it.
We did it. You can email us at saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at saltcirclepod. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and Spotify as Salt Circle Podcast. And you can find our episodes currently hosted at anchor.fm/saltcircle. I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
I'm on Twitter at bean_LP. I'm giving you a big thumbs up right now.
Big thumbs up. Big thumbs up feel.